All right, we are back. Believe it or not, this is a fabulous Friday here in the great state of Alabama. I know some people are like, this state's not great. Well, you can always leave. Uh, so we are actually doing a couple things. Before we do that, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell, and stay far. Uh, do we need to do a Oda Tata? Okay, the outfit of the day. This is another dress up day. It's white out. Now, me being a very large male, and white clothing usually means layers. Okay, that's something some people need to understand. So I do have two layers. I do have a nice Wrangler pocketed tee I got at the Walmart. This is not sponsored by them, anyways. And my now, if you can see, I had to do a little lay on that one. That way we're not all exposed. 'Cause that'd be gross. That's how you get on Channel 48 News. All right, so I can just see it now. Teacher wears lewd clothing during Spirit Week. Parents upset. All right. So here's the deal. Now, in the past, usually what I try to do is I try to think of in the past what has caused students the most issues. Okay. And some people is actually just coming here. So we'll see if we can get past that. Now, this is the big thing I want y'all to know. This X and this Y is those are our variables. Okay. We are not doing anything special with them. There's a reason that this Y and this X actually has the little subscripts right there. Okay. So that's, what we're going to be kind of working with today. Now, today, super easy. Okay. We're just actually plugging them into the equation. We're not solving for Y or anything like that. We're actually just plugging them in. Okay. So this is like a Glade type thing, plug it in, plug it in. All right. So, also, big thing on this M is our slope. Okay. M is our slope. I hadn't really figured out why M is done for slope, other than the fact that they, back then, they're like, oh, it's like a mountain. So maybe, I don't know. Huh? Too many X's. That too many X's is all right. So for number one, what is our slope? Very good, students. Everybody, for those that can't hear on the microphone, I had 25 students go, two. Not really. Nobody tried. Okay. Now, what is our x1? Because remember, this is written as x1, y1. Okay. Now, what is our x1? 4. We actually did have more people say that this time. All right. What is our y1? 1. Okay. So we're going now. If you need to, you can write this down. If you don't need to, you don't have to, because everybody learns different. Oh, and I did not give myself enough room, so let's try this again. All right. I like calling this the skeleton formula, because it really doesn't mean anything until we add the guts to it. All right. So, where does our M go? Right here. It goes between the equals and the parenthesis, and that's a really jacked up M. That almost looks like an R. That's a little bit better. All right. Our X1 goes all the way back here. Our Y1 goes all the way right here. So when we write this all the way out, we just replace these things. 1 and 4. Okay? That's it. That's literally all we're doing right now today. We're not doing anything else special. We're not solving. We're not distributing. Nothing like that right now. Okay. And the reason why is because I need most of y'all right here. And the fact that some of y'all are like me, you're either on the struggle bus or you're being drugged under the fender wheel of the struggle bus as we go down the street called life. That huh? No, drug. Like we got hit by the struggle bus and we're like our carcass is caught up underneath it. Well, some of y'all probably are. All right, now that's all we're doing right now. Okay. So, what is our slope for number 2? 1/2. Now, I know there's going to be, usually the person that would ask this question is not here today, but somebody's going to say, can we write that as a decimal? We actually don't. And there's a reason why. We need it later as a fraction. Okay. What is our x1? Okay. What is our y1? 4. Yes, we had students answer that. I just didn't say it. Now, so if we plug it in, plug it in, plug it in. All right. So our 1/2 goes here. Our 2 goes here. And our 4 goes here. And I know that because we're using this same equation right here. The only thing I'm doing different is the colors. I'm doing different colors. Maybe I should change that. Because somebody's going to say, why did you do different colors? I don't like that. One of these days, I'm actually going to have a student that talks like that, and everybody's going to think I'm talking about them. It's going to be great. All right. Are we good with number 1 and number 2? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay, we at least had 3 people say yes. All right. So let's look at 3 and 4. Okay. 3 and 4 is a little bit, we got to do a little bit more to it. Okay. Just a little bit. All right. So, what is our slope for number 3? Yep, 2/3. Okay. Or, as I affectionately like to call it, 2/3. All right. What is our x1? -6. What is our y1? 0. Now, here's the kicker. Okay. This is where things can get a little messy. And this is where I try to be lenient in grading, which I think I'm fairly lenient as it is. All right. Nope. The 0 goes here, and the -6 goes here. Now, some people will say we're done right there. And honestly, for some of y'all, if y'all happen to do this, I may or may not count off. But I would like for you to try to clean it up a little bit. All right. I will accept it in this form. What happens to this minus a negative? Yeah, it turns to a plus. I'll accept it in this form or this form. Okay. That's kind of what we need. Now, the reason we had to actually do that is due to the fact that we had this minus a negative. Now, the 0, sometimes that can, some people don't do very well with zeros. And some people do because it's in their grade book a lot. All right. So what I've circled in blue are do I need to write this out? Acceptable forms, acceptable answers? Because I know somebody's gonna put on the after thing. Nope. All right. So let's look at number 4. What is our slope? Yeah, just negative something and a fourth. They said 1/4, 2/4, 4/4, 6 bits, a dollar. Okay. So, all right, what is our X1? -8. What is our Y1? -1. Okay. So, if we're plugging in, ooh, I did not help myself out for that one. All right, our slope goes here. All right, -8 and then -1. All right, that's what it looks like after we plug it in. Okay, after we plug it in. All right, now, excuse me, I was yawning. I did not want to look like the line on the MGM commercial. So, as I cough in the microphone. So, we need to get rid of these minuses. So, this becomes +1. Now, the -3/4 stays -3/4. Okay, that's what some people forget. All right. This is the answer that we want. Okay. Now, we're just using these. This is actually a very unique thing. Um, I like to try to call the point slope formula like a springboard or something. Yep. Go. Um, and like it gets us to our next thing. Now, believe it or not, and we'll talk about this later, you can actually graph any of these lines with this because we would have a point and we would use the slope to go over, but that's not how we would normally do it. That's, if we needed. Okay. So are we good with 3 and 4? Anybody need more time to escribe en sus papeles? Okay. All right. Now, we're going to go to number 7 and 8 on the back. Okay, because I want y'all to do 5 and 6 on your own. Some of y'all have probably already done it. Okay, because you're high speed like that, and some of y'all are like, wait, we're doing math. So we've covered everybody. All right. All right. Here's the thing. This right here is what y'all have probably been told 1,000 times before. Okay. And there's a reason. Now, how many y'all have y'all seen this before? Have y'all seen the slope formula before? 7th and 8th grade, maybe? Okay. How many y'all got really confused or like, why does the second point go first? Did anybody get? I mean, I did. I was like, that's not how I measure things with the measuring tape. As I get yelled at by my dad because I'm not holding it up the right way. Right after I got yelled at for not holding the flashlight the right way. Okay, but this is what actually in this area they actually went from their end point and measured to their beginning point. I actually did history on this. That's actually what they did. So that makes sense, right? Instead of stepping something off, they just walked and then they measured back. Okay. Now, here's also what I think is the great and wonderful thing is that Mr. Jeffries learned at a very early age that it doesn't matter if you do the second point first or the first point first, you're going to get the same answer. Now, way back, let's get back in our Wayback Machine. Okay, we're going to take a journey way back to 1993 to the 94 school year, and I was in Algebra 1. That's a long time ago. Listen, listen, that was before the internet. That was before Cell phones that wasn't the size of a brick. Yeah. Okay. I did all my homework like this because I had one of those teachers is like, read example one. Do you have any questions? Read example two. Do you have any questions? All right, your homework is numbered 1 through 30 all on this page. So I was a nerd, and so I did all of it, but I realized I could do it like this. She counted every single one of my problems wrong, even though I had the right answer. And she did that because I didn't do it her way. Let me tell you, I don't care how you do it. You pick a way that works for you. Okay? Now, if you don't believe me that it works either way, all right, I'll show you. So we're going to do number 7 first. We're going to do it in traditional way. All right. So this is what I would always like to do. I would say it's this. These two go on top. Okay. So -1 minus 7. Oh, didn't mean to do all that. On top. And it's these two on the bottom. Then we have 1 minus -3. Okay. All right. You can actually, this gets -8 minus a negative becomes plus a positive, and then we get 4. We end up with -2. That's our answer. Now, that was done with the traditional format. Okay. Now, here's the thing. We will be when you ask me to work out a problem like this, I'm going to ask which method you use. I'm going to ask traditional or mine, and you tell me. Because let's say, for instance, you come up here, you're doing the traditional method. I'll show you the method I like, and then you just walk away more confused, right? So let's not do that. All right. So I'm going to do the same problem, just doing my method. Okay. So my method would have went like this. Okay. Well, on top, I would have seen minus the negative. This would have been +8 over -4. And some people are like, wait, that's not the same thing. Ha ha ha. We're not done yet. We also get -2. All right. So which ones you use, it doesn't matter. You just need to make sure that the Y's are on top and the X's are on bottom. I just nailed my elbow on this corner, and it made me like turn into Gollum for a second. My bitches. Okay. Who, me? No, I hit my elbow. It hurt. No, no. It's look. It made my arm turn into a strong hand. Okay. Grab the strong hand. All right, number 8. We need to make sure these two are on top and these two are on bottom. I will do the same thing. I will do both the. All right, so traditionally we would say -4 minus -7. And then we'd say 3 minus -6. All right, so again, we have these minus and negatives, so we got to change them to plus plus. So we have 3 over 9, which reduces down to 1/3. All right, now I'm fixing to show y'all how to do that on the calculator. All right, so there's this button right here, this N over D on this calculator. That means numerator over denominator. So if you push that, it will start looking like these. And you can put your numbers in there. -4 minus -7. Okay. And then I scroll down. And then I do 3 minus -6. All right. If I do it like that, it doesn't matter which way. Oh, look, I got the same answer. Isn't that amazing? Using your calculator for something other than to write a note to somebody. Okay. Now, let's look at doing this the Jeffries way. -7 minus -4 over -6 minus 3. All right, on top, this actually gives us uh, -3 over -9, which is, again, 1/3. Okay, so let's check ourselves. N over D button. -7 minus -4 over -6. Whoop, not negative, -6 minus 3. I get the same answer. Now, also, I've had teachers tell me, you don't need to be teaching you don't need to be teaching people that way that you teach them because they'll never derive the point slope formula. I said, listen, I said, you think we got kids that's going to take the time to try to derive a formula? They get mad if you don't actually like do their work for you. Okay. I don't know what is happening in that back corner. It looks like one student is using another student as a scratching post, and it is very interesting. Okay, believe it or not, this is where we're stopping our lesson today for recording purposes. I'm going to let my students in that's in the studio audience to actually work on the rest of these problems. There's only 2 from the front, you have 4 from the back. Should not take very long. Some of y'all already actually have it done. Okay, so as they work on that, don't forget, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell. Stay farce. I don't know what that is. Stay blessed. Stay blessed. Okay. Like people watch this. All right. Good stuff. Good things. Roll Tide.